That's all I got left on my photographs. And the love that's on my hand. The love I have left for myself and my creatures that I'm responsible for. Because my son is not. My son is not here. Somebody stole a bunch of money from me. Her name's Regina Morgan, and she's going to jail because she's being reported today for being close. Being close to somebody, being their Instagrammer, being their responsible human being. They don't understand how they are sick in the head. Nobody does, because they're all narcissistic. All narcissistic need to be seen. Had to kill himself with my drugs. Had to be that person that died because he wouldn't call 911. And neither would his dad. And he saw how he was suffering. Walked out this door with my son. Took my son away from me. Took my son away from me because I went crazy. Because those assholes were doing alienation of affection and keeping my son away from them because they didn't want to hurt. Because they couldn't deal with their own son killing himself on top of me. And the last thing he's saying to my eyes was, everybody thought you were the junkie whore when it was me all along. Then he rolled over and said, I love you, and died. Fucking died on top of me. Thank God it wasn't during sex. That would have sucked. That would have sucked. That bitch would have been more fucked up than him raping her, fucking a shunt out of her spine, and causing her all kinds of grief because she couldn't deal with life because some crazy asshole went from being a bad daughter into being a bad wife. She was groomed just like we all are, to believe we're princesses when we're not. We're all just a bunch of skanky cunts who deserve exactly what they get because they're evil and vapid and narcissistic and don't understand there are stations in life because they can't accept who they are as human beings. They can't accept life. Nobody can. Nobody can accept life for life just being itself. I can't help all the things that I've been through. All the things that have made me me. All the things I was trying to do when I couldn't even function because I had a rotted septic tube in my gut that a neurosurgeon couldn't count to 3 when he pulled that fucking thing out of my body. It was so full of pus and all those molecules got stuck in my body. Like when the CSF, he let it trickle down into my body because his PA thought it was a good idea. Thought it was a good idea to fuck me up. You're all so sick and narcissistic. You're willing to put me in the ground. You're so sick. Steal my money and then put me in the ground because you want me to shut up. Shut up about you stealing my money. Whoever the fuck you are. You crazy assholes, you're just as crazy as Mark Zuckerberg. I have to think of how I'm gonna word what I need to say when I have my Facebook again. Because I'm sure if I put something harassing up, he's gonna take my account. He's gonna take my account because I call him a pederast. Because that's exactly what he is. And somebody's gonna find those photographs that he did. He didn't think I'd realize one day that he was the asshole behind putting me back on my Instagram or on my Facebook, pretending to be somebody else in another part of the world. Don't think I see the shit in front of me, 'cause you think my dick doesn't get hard. It got hard for a big black cock yesterday, and I came even though I hardly drank anything. He doesn't come 'cause he's not used to being with another human being when he does. But I came quite a bit. Just a couple of little orgasms, mostly female ejaculation. 'Cause that's what I do. That's my specialty. Quit barking. Quit being bad. Quit being yourself. That's what everybody wants. Conform, conform, conform. Steal my money. Put me in the public arena so that Regina Morgan goes to jail. Goes to jail for what she's done to a brain-damaged woman by thinking she had a right to my money more than I did. Gonna get sued. Gonna get your fucking life taken away from you. 'Cause you fucking crazy, narcissistic bitch. You've been seen. You've been played. You've been done. Somebody had to be that asshole who took advantage of me. Took advantage of me. Left me to rot. Put me into a psychotic break. Had to have a timeout in a mental institute where there was illegal clinical trials done on me. An illegal clinical trial because they thought I was delusional. And maybe I was. I was definitely psychotic and crazy after my son ran away and those people held him and said, "Do you feel betrayed? Do you feel abandoned?" Because that's exactly what you did. You done abandoned and betrayed your son. So we're taking him away from you. They're sick in the head because they went to Princeton and thought that he knew more about life than I did, and he's lost his son and his daughter if he has one. He's got children, and his wife is going to leave him because I'm going to go viral again. I'm going to go viral because somebody wants to stick their dicks up my pussy after seeing my photographs. Somebody wants to know what it's like for another person to come all over them. All over them, all over their body. It's going to be somebody one day. Somebody's going to love. Somebody's going to believe in God. Certainly it's Regina Morgan, because that bitch is going to jail. She's going to know what it's like, just like I did. Only she's going to be stuck there for quite some time. Quite some time to think of her crime. I wish she wouldn't bleed for 7 days and not die. I wish she was that one human being, just like I wish Hitler could have got Mark Zuckerberg instead of making him sex traffic. Making him a sex trafficker had to traffic women, had to move drugs around, and use Facebook to do it. I know, because I've used it myself. Interstate drug trafficking is done, and people want to have their addictions, and it's none of your fucking business how we get our drugs. It's none of your business how we talk about our harassing ways, because we have our First Amendment rights. First Amendment rights that are free, because we have to be free to be our skanky pussy selves. We've got to be able to say things just like Cassius Clay did in The True American when I was him as Cassius Clay. Had to go up and down the DNA timeline, had to figure out that he was a nigger lover too. He loved to fuck that pussy. And he made Cassius Clay Jr. quit barking. Made them babies. Was responsible for them. Wasn't responsible for his grandson, just like my daddy wasn't responsible for me. Gave him boxing lessons. Taught him how to be that Clay. I am positive that's how that happened, because his grandmother was set free, and something happened to Cassius Clay for a chunk of time where there was nothing going on in his life, and he was raising a child. Raising a son that a Russian ballerina delivered to him the night he had dinner with Susan B. Anthony, and still didn't think that women needed rights. That's why I had to come back as a woman, so I was natural. That's why my brain is splitting into pieces, so I could articulate the issues that we have with it. Quit barking, you fucking bitch. Quit barking, you're a bad dog. No barking. No barking, 'cause you're bad. You're bad. You're bad. You know it. I did not get all of what I should have ordered yesterday. I did not get everything I deserved. Don't get everything I deserve because I'm crazy. Crazy because I don't pay attention to anything but my phone. Gonna pay attention to school. No, you can't have any pizza. This is mine. You can't have any. I bought it. I paid for it. Get out of my pizza. Get away from it, you little asshole. You don't get any. You don't get to know what it's like, Biggest Stickers. You don't get to taste the bacon. You don't get the cheese. You don't get the pineapple. Wish I put jalapenos on here. Somebody's got to eat the pizza. Somebody's got to go to the doctor. Somebody has to take care of themselves because somebody's not doing it. or doesn't want to. Doesn't matter either way. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. Somebody's too busy to pay attention and understand what life is about. What life is about. Doesn't want to pay attention to life. Doesn't want to be present. Doesn't want to see anything beyond their phone. Because their dicks don't get hard. And they're crazy, narcissistic, histrionic people that rule the world. Because people like me quit giving a shit. Because the system is rigged and people don't see it. Because it's all for the corporations and not for we the people. Not for we the people. Definitely not in my favor. There's nothing here for me except watching TV and getting a degree. Because I'm sick of being crazy. Sick of being nuts. Sick of being sick, but I can't be anything but sick. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything. And when you live by that philosophy, you never have anything. Even though you work your ass off to get where you are, you don't have anything because people won't pay attention or do their jobs. Won't pay attention long enough to do their jobs and make sure that you get your life back together. Because it fell apart. Because you couldn't smell your own shit because you was too busy on your phone. Having a Twitter dump. And putting it on the internet. Somebody has to laugh at themselves. Somebody still has to dream. Somebody has to believe in something stronger than themselves in order to get through life. People have to stop believing in God. People have to start believing in love. People have to stop thinking, quit thinking God is a vindictive person. Because she's not. She just has vindictive thoughts. And vindictive ways about her. Because of the family violence she endured. But she was not Jewish. And was not a slave during Egyptian times. Because we were Nordic. I had to think of a creation instead of thinking about amoebas growing into people. Because that is too far a concept to think of how we evolved. Think of how we've evolved for billions of years. Can't see what our backs are doing because we can't see them. Can't understand we all need rhizotomies after 40. Because our nerves are like an uptight cunt named Regina Morgan. She's going to jail. She can't help it.
Somebody had to be that asshole.